Drew, number 9. Danny joined me. It's Cloud Nothings.
Oh,
let's go.
Yes.
Cloud Nothings,
Nice.
Final Summer.
I knew it.
Great album.
Really just took me by surprise. To be honest, I didn't think they had this much gas in their tank. They've been steadily putting out music. Attack on Memory is from, I think, 2012.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite albums ever. And it's great. Just like punk music. Like it's almost, you would call it pop punk, but not in like the modern like
Pop
way,
punk.
in the way that like 80s pop punk was pop punk,
Yeah.
almost like Dead Kennedys almost. But that album's incredible. The album after that is good. What's the one after it called?
It is very
The one
good.
with Modern Act is I forgot what it's called. It's the blue one.
Either way, so they have 2 great albums, and then I would say, and I think most people would say, they sort of fell off as a band.
Yeah, Life Without Sound. It's not the next one after it, but it's the one that came out in 2017.
They were a band, if you go back, that was like weirdly extremely hyped before their first album, because their singer released really, really rough cut lo-fi songs on like MySpace or something like that, or maybe Bandcamp. But he had like quite an online following. So they were so hyped, and I think never lived up to that expectation that they had in the music scene. This album just rocks, though. It goes back to what they were great at in the first place. It's lower-fi. It's weirdly no skips. Like that's what I wasn't expecting. Is it maintains the level of energy throughout the album that I want from them. I want energy from them, which I know it's hard to keep up when you're like sort of a hardcore band and you're aging. And now I know he like has kids and stuff, so it makes sense that he was putting out like different types of shit. But like the energy's back here.
Yeah,
I always say that my favorite thing about them, and in their first album, Attack on Memory, very much so. By the way, that album produced by Steve Albini, rest in peace. He died
R.I.P.
2024.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting producers and people of all time. That's speaking of Wikipedia. Go to Steve Albini's Wikipedia pages.
Incredible. Just see the work that he.
Incredible engineer, professional like poker player, a true like. Interesting.
Did he
dude.
actually, and I'm sorry, Spotify was stupid with the way they lay out albums sometimes. Here and Nowhere Else is the album that came out right after that, 2 years later, which is honestly, I think that like as an album, I think that I might like it more than Attack on Memory. I don't think that there's a single song on there that is as good as Wasted Days. But I do, both of those albums are absolutely incredible. Like they're bangers.
Yeah.
And then they did kind of feel like a band that was like, they'll play like legacy acts. They'll play like, your like punk festivals and like smaller things.
Yeah.
Like that.
And they were
like
putting out albums, but they were getting they were not drawing anybody, and they didn't really draw me. They did like a dual EP with Waves at one point that had a couple interesting songs. This album brings it back. My favorite choice that the band makes in their production when they're good is playing the instruments as hard as they can, which is not something that a lot of bands do in the studio because it's being captured really well. You don't need to play it hard. And I think a lot of punk bands go wrong when they go into the studio because of that.
It gives it more of like a raw feel.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Like a lot of bands you can tell just lose the energy in the studio compared to live. They sound like they're playing a live gig.
They want to play the fuck out of the guitar.
Yeah,
play the fuck out of the drums.
And the drums.
The guitar to the point of distortion. Their drummer is one of my favorite drummers ever. If you watch him on like one of their KEXP sets, his set is so low to the ground. He's basically like slamming like under him. I've never seen anything like it.
Full power.
He also only has a great setup where it's just like one giant ride and like a hi-hat and then like 2 or 3 drums and that's it. And he fucking rips it.
That's all you need. Yeah.
He absolutely rips it. So great band. If you like their original sound, like you got to check this album out. It kind of came and went just because it was a crazy year and they're, they don't have hype behind them anymore, but awesome album.
It like the instruments kind of remind me of like really early on Fall Out Boy, but really early on.
Yeah.
It's just slamming down on
just
it.
the guitar. Yeah. Alone. I remember like specifically with this album, like the moment I was like, this is a great album was the intro, like how it like builds up to Final Summer.
Yeah, Final Summer.
And it just like slowly comes in and then all of a sudden it's like, we're fucking in,
Yeah, it's so great. I could put this higher.
Yeah.
But it was a crazy year. But my God, I was just so elated to be like, oh my God, they're still around. Like they're not, it always makes you sad when someone you loved sort of tapers off.
Yeah. I think the comp to Andy is actually a good, oh, sorry. Oh,
love you, Brad.
good comp to Andy as far as his drumming style, like early Andy, pre even Take This to Your Grave Andy, like when they were in mixtapes and stuff. This is a great album. This is another one just got completely lost. It came out in April, and I was like, oh man, this is great. Cloud Nothing's put out an awesome album again.
It's easy
This
to
is
listen
awesome.
if you love like punky.
It's also really short. I think it's like 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's all
29
killer.
minutes.
It's all killer, no filler. It's like 2.5 minute songs. Like it rocks.
Mouse Policy was also on repeat for me. That was like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's Final Summer by Cloud Nothings. It's Drew's number 9. Damn, another round done, boys. We're looking good.
Well, how's time?
We're doing good. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
We're fine.
All right.
All right.